Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing our second Q&A for this week, leading up to The Walking Dead Season 7's finale. First question for this one, is Sasha really suicidal? And spoiler warning, if you're not caught up for Walking Dead, as per usual, that's episode 15 from season 7, leading into our extended episode 16 season finale. Very excited, just can't wait to see the episode. So, want to add this one on here, some discussion with the review, and people reading Sasha's, motives differently, or the things Sasha's doing. So, want to give some more thoughts on that, because we didn't get into it enough, I feel like, in the review. Want to comment a little bit more on it. So, like I said, spoiler warning, very cool, and send me more questions for the videos for this week, guys. Also did one last night on who the little birdie could be, so if you guys haven't seen that yet, it'll be at the end screen credits for this one. It's also in the channel, as well as the review for 15, and predictions for what I think is going to happen in the finale. So, alright, so the first one, is Sasha really suicidal, or was she just saying that all to Eugene, totally facetiously, just to try to get a weapon to attack Negan again? Well, yeah, I mean, kind of. This one came from Christopher Jardine, and a few people thumbs it up. I guess maybe the way I communicated in the review wasn't 100% what I was thinking. So let's get into a little bit more. He says, "Yo, Trev, Sasha wasn't trying to commit suicide. It was a plan to get Eugene to get her something sharp or a gun to kill Negan. That's why she smiles kind of crazy like." And yeah, you're right. I agree with that. When she gets the pills, we see she's disappointed, because that's hard to kill Negan with unless you put it in a drink or something. And that's true. But I do still think what she said was honest as well. I do think that she doesn't want, and of course her actions already have proven this, that she's willing to go in, in kamikaze style, like Negan said. So that in and of itself, that's Thanatos base. That's protecting your group, but that's also psychologically kamikaze style. When you go in like that, guns a-blazing, you go in with the understanding that you could be killed. So is she suicidal from the start? From when she went in to protect Rosita, at that moment right there, she made a choice to be suicidal. So is she still suicidal? Absolutely, I'd say so for sure. Now we'll see how this all goes down. Is she still going to look for opportunities to try to get Negan if she can? Well, yeah, of course she's going to try to do that. But at the same time, I would still say that she is definitely on suicide watch, I think. I mean, she's pretty close, and failing that, she doesn't also want to be used by Negan and the Saviors against Rick and the other group. I really do think that she may still commit suicide. So we'll see if how this goes with the pills and everything, and what happens with her on the way to Alexandria when she's taken there, and what happens at Alexandria. But I wouldn't be surprised if on the way or something she manages to ingest the pills. So we'll see what happens. Not sure right now, but I would say that what she said to Eugene is true to a degree as well. She's trying to get something that she can use to finish the job that she went in for, of course. That's the job she went in to try to complete, was to kill Negan. So if she has an opportunity to do so, or she'll try to find an opportunity, she obviously hasn't given up on that mission. But I think failing that, if she finds that she's going to be used as a ploy, she may take those pills. So we'll see what happens in the finale, whether or not she's going to. She hasn't taken them yet, so maybe she's still looking for an opportunity. And she didn't kill herself right away when she had the knife. She didn't cut her wrist or something, or let the zombie David bite her. But the way I was interpreting it was, when she's watching David, she's kind of deciding, like she's thinking about it, and then you see his eyes open and you see how like scary and kind of grotesque that would be. And at least for me, I felt like I was in that situation with her. And it's like, even if you are suicidal, it's a pretty tough thing to pull it off, because it goes against your your eros, your need to want to survive, right? So we all want to survive, obviously, and it would take something very extremely painful, or something like the situation that Sasha's in now, where she feels like she doesn't want to be used against her group. So we'll see what comes of it. But the way I read the scene with regards to David kind of waking up and her just not getting up and killing him right away, is that she's thinking about it. It seems to me like she's thinking about it. She's deciding whether or not she's going to do it, or maybe she'll get another chance. And also too, she could have tried to attack Negan with the knife when she had it, and he had the bat, of course, too. And obviously she probably wouldn't have won that exchange, but she could have tried to nick an artery or something and then gone down the process herself. So we'll see if she which direction she goes in the finale here, and if she has any opportunity. She most likely won't. And yeah, I don't think she's going to make it. So Charlie B says Gregory was drinking tequila, which Simon said was his preferred drink, that's true. Gregory became the little birdie, and Simon gave him a bottle of tequila as a reward. So we'll see. He also does want to leave. So that's possible too. Well, you can watch the little birdie video I did last night if you guys want to leave comments and stuff like that about that one. We'll go to that one for that discussion because it is pretty interesting. And I'll save that for that in case anybody doesn't want to know. SwiftCT says, why didn't Sasha take the pill yet, like she said? Well, again, too, she's still looking for an opportunity, I think. If she has an opportunity, and also, suicide is not that easy of a thing to pull off. When people are suicidal, when they're experiencing that much pain and they see no other way out, it's still tough because it goes against your programming. So cognitive dissonance is the name of the game when it comes to suicide. Of course, she wants to protect everybody in that, but of course she's confused. She's weighing the options. She's deciding what she's going to do, and if she gets another opportunity at Negan, she'll probably take it. But if it all fails and she ends up there, we'll see if she's able to take the pill herself. We'll see how it goes. Sean Burg says, Q&A, Trev, or it's possible maybe Negan could kill her on the way or something. We'll see. Just curious how you come up with your ratings for each episode, like giving this one a 9.2. Just curious, and would like to know. Thanks. So, Sean, for Sean Burg or Sean B, so my rating system is based on not just Walking Dead. So I don't give a rating only for Walking Dead. I give a rating, just a kind of standard rating system for any series I review, whether it be Breaking Bad, Under the Dome, The Walking Dead, if I review movies, if I review like a DC direct-to-animated movie, comic book series, just about anything. I don't compare it to itself. I compare it to kind of what I view as standard. Standard TV shows, average is 6.5, so same as like a university if they're going to grade you or something. Below 5 is going to be a fail, or if you go to a college, below 5 is a fail for most colleges, universities. 6.5 is usually your average, so that means an average episode. So when people say, well, your rating system's kind of high, well, 6.5 is average, and I don't really watch average shows. Into the Badlands is like it's probably even above average, actually. It's probably not even just average. Average, I usually wouldn't make videos for. If I watch a premiere and I feel like it's average, then I probably won't stick with it, unless it's something like Z Nation, which I often rate at like a 5 a lot of times, or sometimes a 6. Sometimes they have 7 or 8 episodes. They really do. There's a few in Z Nation that are really good, but I'm kind of, comparing it to everything that's out there. So The Walking Dead usually does score really high, or I score it really high because it's a premium show, just like Game of Thrones. It doesn't score as high as Game of Thrones usually. Game of Thrones is usually like pretty close to perfect almost every episode. But, I look at things like the story. I look at, does it grab you? The fun factor, is it engaging? Is it something that's going to pull people and get them to keep coming back to watch the series? So, yeah, my ratings for Walking Dead are usually high, but it's my favorite show. And it's number one show on cable because it's really good. I mean, you can say there's episodes of it that are not that good, that kind of thing, kind of complain. But the ratings, the results that the show has got, it should be generally like 8 or above, or 9, somewhere around there, generally. So, I mean, there's some episodes that are obviously lower, like Still and stuff like that, which would be lower, but generally it's a really good show. So that's my rating system. Like I said, 6.5 average, 7 good, 8 very good, and above 9 excellent, really, really good, which The Walking Dead usually is, and then like a 10 is perfect, which there's only going to be like a few episodes of shows that are perfect. You have to see almost no mistakes with it. Some like Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones, or certain episodes of Walking Dead, like No Way Out would be like a 10, episodes like that. So that's how I come up with it. Manny Torres says, Trev Q&A, by the looks of the promo, it looks like the two groups are exchanging gunfire. What do you think will trigger that? Probably Sasha is what I think, or at least Sasha will be a part of that, I think. It feels like when the governor went to the prison and his army and kept Hershel and Michonne as hostages, but now it's going to be Negan and Sasha. Oh, man, that's a nice comparison. I hadn't really thought about that. Nice call, Manny. I'm probably way off, but keep up the great work. No, I think you're not way off. I think you're pretty close. I think you're just about right. And when you think of it, that's going to be a pretty intense standoff. And if they do it like Too Far Gone, it could be one of our better episodes we've ever seen. Even if, Negan isn't definitively killed like the governor is in Too Far Gone, it could still be very exciting to see a bunch of, even if it's red shirts, that kind of thing, being killed off. Sasha, and then maybe another survivor, something like Eric or somebody like that, we'll see. Or Tobin or something. We'll see how that goes. But Yeah, it looks really exciting as far as explosives and that we've seen in the promo. There's some explosives being set around, so we'll have to see where those go and just what happens. But it should be a really exciting finale, and I'm happy it's extended as well too. It sounds like it's going to be really great. Everyone has AIDS. That's his name. Q and mother effing A, Trev. I think Sasha was foreshadowed back in season 7, episode 1, during the dinner scene at the end of the episode. They zoomed in on Glenn and Abraham, but left Sasha in the frame before they cut back to reality. I always thought it was weird that they did that, but now it looks like Sasha will die. I feel like it was completely intentional. What are your thoughts? So that's pretty cool. I've heard a few people break down stuff like that. People have left comments and stuff about the tablecloths and things like that in that scene. I think it's a really important scene for the show. I mean, it's a really emotional scene. It's very sad, and with this season especially too, season 7 is a pretty big milestone season. Even though there's some slow parts in the middle and a lot of setup for All Out War, it definitely starts off with one of the most memorable episodes in all of the series. And even in 10 years, I'll probably remember when season 7, premiered, and just the buzz that was out there for the show. The buzz was insane. And maybe you're right. Maybe they did kind of leave in an Easter egg like that, because of course they go into the season knowing who's going to be killed off at the end of the season, unless Glenn Mazzara is running the show in season 3. then they have some kind of rough idea, but they're not sure, and it's subject to change throughout, which is more unpredictable because it wasn't as well planned. But usually they would know that Sasha's going to be killed at the end of the season, and maybe you're right. So we'll see what happens, and I might take a look at that again and see what you mean in particular. Jason Pratt says, did you notice the emotion on the face of Sasha not matching what may have been expected? First, when she was crying and asking Eugene for something to kill herself with, when we see her say thank you, she had a kind of crazy look with no tears on her cheeks, as if she was playing Eugene. Well, she kind of is, right? A little bit. Next, when Eugene delivered the pill, her look of despair did not seem to be because she was facing her imminent suicide, but I think she looked disappointed with what he brought. Well, maybe she was thinking that Eugene could help her and they could get Negan from the inside, right? For sure. So the big question is, do you think she was hoping for a weapon she could surprise and kill Negan with? Yeah, she was, even though she kind of had the knife there before, but she also had the sniper gun on him, and she kind of hesitated there as well too, so she didn't take the shot right away. And even if someone was in front of him too, I mean, you could probably shoot through the person and into him, except it's possible that the bullet could not go through straight, it could ricochet or something. But with the type of rifle that she had, I think it would probably go pretty much straight through. And do you think she will try to find a way to use the pill on him? I don't know, force it in his mouth or kiss him and spit in his lips. Hey, that's a good idea. I didn't really think about that one. So if she put the poison in her mouth before and then she tried to make out with him or something and then stuck it through and poisoned him, that's a good idea. I never thought about that. That's interesting, Jason. So good idea, but I think she's probably going to just use it herself. But maybe we'll see. Mr. Multi-Personality, I like his name. He says, Q&A Trev, what if JDM wasn't picked for Negan? Then who would you consider to play the role as Negan? So we've touched on quite a few different people, of course, over the years. Henry Rollins is one. Actually, the guy who plays Simon is really funny, and he'd actually be a pretty good Negan, to be honest with you, Stephen Oak. And let's see. I mean, Kevin Durand was rumored there for a while, but maybe he decided to stay with the strain. I'm not sure if he read for the role. I know Henry Rollins did. And then anybody that has that look, dark, kind of black hair. You got to have black hair. You got to have a big smile. You got to be able to do the comedy, and you got to be able to do the more serious and intimidating side of Negan as well too. Derek Moat says, I told you guys Eugene did not have some master plan. He's just a complete coward, period. And yeah, that's kind of true. But you can't really blame Eugene. He's doing what he has to in order to survive himself. And he is at least going to see Sasha and helping her by giving her the pill. So he's giving her at least at least an option to try to reduce her pain and what's going on with her and give her a way out, so to speak. So, Eugene has always kind of been a coward. That's kind of part of his character. It's not like they have much of a choice right now or much of a chance anyway. Like, even if Sasha tries to again, are they going to be able to kill Negan? No, probably not. Her best shot was probably when she had the sniper rifle on him, even if she had to shoot through one of the other people or something of the sort. So, yeah. Last one will be from A. Marie, who says, Q&A, Trev, now that the season is almost done, do the setup bottle episodes make more sense now? Does it make the season as a whole better, in your opinion, now that we have seen everything kind of come together? So, yeah, I think it does. I think episode 13 starts with that, where, you've got a lot of setup at the kingdom beforehand. You've got Richard, and you've got Ben and all that. And, as you see episode 13, it makes a lot of sense. Episode 14, in a similar fashion with Rosita and Sasha. And then 15 with this going on now. It does. I think honestly it does. And it makes sense for them to have almost a whole season of a setup. Like, almost all of season 7 is really a setup for all-out war for the most part, it looks like. So the season finale should be really exciting, and season 8 should be amazing. It should be really, really good. And, even episode 11, which I was not that big of a fan of, I didn't enjoy that much after watching it first. Yeah, that's true. It maybe wasn't the most enjoyable episode if you're not a huge Eugene fan. But at the same time, look at what it did for later on. So, and that's another thing about ratings, too, when I'm rating the series also. I'm rating each episode by itself. But sometimes, for certain episodes to make sense, you need to see the further episodes. And it can kind of change over time in how you view things, too. Like, for example, Clear, from season 3, for a while, was my favorite episode of The Walking Dead. It was my absolute favorite. I love the episode. Then Morgan came back, and he was kind of more like this Buddhist monk piece, Morgan, and it affected that episode. The episode was no longer my favorite. It's an amazing episode by itself, but then what happens with the characters at different parts later can affect how you view those things earlier and kind of how you feel about it in retrospect. So, it changes over time, and, those episodes, a lot of them are set up. Even episode 15, a lot of that is set up for the finale, and it's really enjoyable. I liked 15 a lot. But, the payoff episodes, the climax of the series is always going to be pretty much the best, as you would expect it to be. Like No Way Out and all of Season 6 leading up to No Way Out with the zombie herd and everything coming through. So that'll be it for today's video, guys. Of course, check out those others from last night, and I hope you guys have been enjoying it. Hope you guys have had fun this year with The Walking Dead, and of course, I can't wait for Sunday's episode, the big finale. If you guys like this video, please don't forget, thumb it up below. You can also share, favorite, and if you're new and you want to subscribe, bottom left, thank you guys for subscribing. Thanks for all your support, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another video. It's Trev saying peace. Later, guys. See you tomorrow.